Hi everyone, and welcome back to Hoodie Narrates. Have a great day. The subreddit, Am I the Asshole? Common, expression 740. Am I the asshole for immediately saying no when my husband asked me to stop wearing earrings because he said they make a woman look older? My husband, 41 male, looks significantly younger than me, 43 female. Yesterday, my husband said he would like to talk to me. He told me he loves me, and that nothing will ever change that. He said I'm an amazing mom, and more sweet things. Then he mentioned how earrings makes a woman look older. He asked if I could stop wearing earrings, makes they're making me look older. In less than 20 seconds of him asking, I said no. I don't think I have ever rejected a request from my husband so fast. I usually think things though for a longer period. My husband said he's disappointed that I answered no so quickly. I got annoyed with him and told him he has to deal with the fact that he has an old-looking wife. He said he didn't want to deal with me when I'm like this, and he walked away. Am I the asshole? Well, OP, your reaction makes complete sense. Being asked to change something about your appearance because it supposedly makes you look older is not a small or harmless comment, especially when it comes from your spouse. That kind of request hits directly at insecurity, identity, and self-worth. And it's not surprising that you responded instinctively instead of politely entertaining the idea. And the bigger issue here isn't earrings, it's the message underneath them. When someone frames aging as something that needs to be managed for their comfort, it can feel like your value is being quietly tied to how youthful you look. You didn't lash out without reason. You reacted to feeling judged in a space where you should feel safest. Saying no quickly doesn't make you disrespectful. It means your boundary was very clear the moment it was crossed. And while her immediate reaction already showed how deeply that comment had landed, the update reveals what came out when they finally had an honest conversation about attraction, aging, and emotional safety. And now, here's the update from the original poster. I, 43 female, had decided that I shouldn't act like a pushover like I normally do. I decided that I needed to confront my husband about what he said on Saturday. This morning I talked to me. He said he loves me, and he said he's sorry that he hurt my feelings. He admitted that finds me less physically attractive than I was in my 20s and 30s. Not only because of my aging, but also because of my adult acne. He said I'm definitely not ugly, that I'm still cute. He said he's angry at himself for caring about such superficial stuff. He specifically apologized for asking me to stop wearing earrings. He said he honestly didn't think I would get so angry. I confronted him about other stuff he said that sounded like criticisms. He said those stuff was just flirting, and he apologized for being insensitive. He told me he loves me, and he will never ask me to change anything about appearance again. I was honest with him about all the activities I was doing on Reddit. He said he's not angry that I reached out for perspectives. He said it's fine if I talk to my family or friends about this. He said I need to feel more comfortable expressing how I really feel. Something many women will find pathetic. I asked my husband how less physically attractive I am now. He said in my 20s and most of my 30s, I was smoking hot. Now I'm a cutie. I asked him what will happen when I age more. What about when I turn 50, then 60, then 70, then 80? He said plenty of 80-year-old women are adorable. He said he knows he messed up royally, but he is asking me to not leave him over this. He said he loves me and will love me forever. I don't know how to feel right now. Well, OP, the update adds a lot of emotional complexity to this situation. On one hand, your husband did take responsibility, apologized, and acknowledged that his comment came from his own superficial thinking, and that matters. On the other hand, hearing your partner openly say they find you less attractive because of aging and acne is still painful, even if it's wrapped in affection and reassurance. Both of those truths can exist at the same time. What stands out to me is that this isn't really about whether he loves you. It's about whether you feel emotionally safe being exactly who you are as you continue to age. Love isn't just staying together. It's also about how carefully someone handles your vulnerabilities. You shouldn't have to brace yourself for future years wondering when you'll cross another invisible line of attractiveness. It's okay to need time to process this, even after an apology. Healing here doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. It means rebuilding trust that you won't be measured against a younger version of yourself going forward. And your feelings right now don't mean you're dramatic or ungrateful. They mean you're human, and this touched something very real and very deep. Okay, let's not waste any more time and move on to the next story. The subreddit, Am I the Asshole? Throra6050. Am I the asshole for not wanting to see my ailing grandmother? I, 30 male, was just called by my father asking if I can come see my grandma for the holidays. For background, I have not seen my grandma in almost 10 years, not since I came out and exiled myself from the family. My family is pretty homophobic, and when I first came out I had a huge fight where my dad said he would not accept me. So I left the state my family lived in and haven't been back since. However, over the years my parents have come around, and my boyfriend and I even hang out with them during our vacations and holidays. Nevertheless, I have not told the rest of my family, aunts, uncles, cousins, etc. for 2 reasons. 1. I know they will not react well, and 2. My parents have asked me not to tell anyone as that would bring shame to our family. My one aunt has been known to spew hateful homophobic rhetoric, and I know if I were to see her during the holidays, I will get extremely confrontational. Fast forward to Christmas Eve, and my dad is saying my grandma is getting on in years, and she is constantly asking for me, even more so than usual. Every time she asks, my father asks if I can come, alone without my partner, and to just entertain her for one day. My grandma has a lot of money and will that my family is hoping to be in before she passes. I am the eldest son in a large Asian family, so she always favored me over my sister or other cousins, which MO is stupid, but that's besides the point. So they're asking me to play nice and not say or do anything that would upset her. I told my dad I have no desire to see our family, and that my grandma may very well pass without ever seeing me again. He got angry, saying that I am being childish and bringing shame to my family. In my perspective, I am trying to avoid the hardship of lying to her and the rest of the family about my life these past 10 years, and the fact I am alone, without my partner, hanging out with family members that I know hate my existence. My partner's family, however, is very accepting of me, and we have seen them for the holidays for the past 4 years. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to see my family and my grandmother, who may not be around for much longer? Well, OP, you're not wrong for protecting yourself from a situation that has historically caused you pain. Being asked to show up alone, hide your real life, and pretend parts of you don't exist just to keep the family comfortable is not a small ask. It's emotional labor, and it comes at a real cost to your mental health. You didn't cut them off out of spite. You left because you weren't accepted, and that context matters. It also doesn't sit right that your father framed this as an obligation tied to family image and inheritance, rather than genuine concern for your well-being or your grandmother's emotional needs. Grief, guilt, and cultural expectations can be powerful, but none of that erases your right to live honestly. You're not refusing out of cruelty. You're refusing to step back into a role where you have to shrink yourself to be tolerated. And no one should be shamed for choosing dignity over approval. And while his hesitation was rooted in years of rejection and the fear of being forced back into hiding, the update shows what happened when he chose to visit on his own terms. And now, here's the update from the original poster. First, I want to thank everyone for the positive comments in my last post. I do not post on Reddit often, and yes, I know negative comments are just a part of being on the internet, but I was still scared. But I'm happy to report everyone was very cordial in my responses. That being said, I did follow some people's advice and decided to visit my grandmother after the holidays when the majority of my family was gone. It was only for a couple hours since I do not live close by, and for the most part, nothing really happened. She was very happy to see me and was wondering where I was all these years. There's a language barrier, so unfortunately my dad served as the translator between us. I can only pick up bits and pieces of Mandarin, and apparently my dad lied and said I was traveling abroad for work often, which is why I never visit. After asking him about it later, he said it was to not stress me out about visiting grandma more often. I'm not sure how to take that. It's a double-edged sword that I can see as both negatives and positives. My mother also spoiled for me that my grandma just had an annual checkup recently. Despite her being 91 years old, I actually didn't realize how old she's gotten. She's the picture of perfect health, according to her doctors, so I don't believe she will be passing on anytime soon like my father made a fuss about over the holidays. In the end, I was happy that I saw her. I'm glad I was able to make her happy, but I was upset I'm unable to converse with her. Some mentions about money and some other things, like her home, came up in conversation, but I couldn't understand everything my grandma and dad were talking about. But at the end of the day, I didn't really care. He can hash that out with her in private. I asked if in the future I decide to visit again if I could bring my partner, and my parents said that it's a possibility if I just mention he's just a friend. Cue the biggest eye roll is history for me, but I guess it's a step in the right direction. I feel like I should just learn how to say this is my boyfriend in Mandarin just to stick it to my family. But that's not something I want to do for now. I knew this visit wasn't going to be too bad, since I knew my homophobic aunt wasn't going to be here. My grandma actually never even brought up the topic of a girlfriend. She just kept saying how upset she was I didn't visit more often. Thank you everyone for the kind comments. I feel like it is okay now to see my grandma more often, and that while the relationship with the rest of my family may be a bit questionable, I shouldn't extend that to her. I've decided I'll make an effort to try to visit her more often, potentially even with my boyfriend. Well, OP, the update shows a lot of emotional maturity on your part. You found a way to see your grandmother that protected your boundaries while still giving her the comfort she wanted. And that's not an easy balance to strike. It's clear that your decision wasn't about punishment. It was about safety, honesty, and not reopening old wounds without good reason. The fact that you were willing to try, once the environment felt safer, says a lot about your character. What's bittersweet here is that the visit highlights how much of this pain comes from secrecy and family pressure, not from your grandmother herself. You shouldn't have to rely on half-truths or translation filters to exist in your own family, and it's understandable that that still hurts. But choosing to reconnect on your own terms doesn't mean you're excusing past harm. It means you're prioritizing what brings you peace right now. Moving forward slowly, and possibly including your partner someday, isn't weakness. It's you reclaiming control over how and when you show up. And that's exactly how healing usually happens, carefully, and on your own timeline. Okay, let's not waste any more time and move on to the next story. The subreddit, Am I the Asshole? Unlikely_entrance 189. Am I the asshole for wanting to curse my mother-in-law out and tell her to move out? My mother-in-law is very sweet and very nice most of the time, but she treats me like a child a good 80% of the time. If I don't feel well, she will demand I do something right then and there. Like if I don't clean up after myself right away. Like cleaning a bowl and a spoon. She will demand I do it immediately. We live together because of issues she had with her ex-boyfriend. She treats me well. We live together pretty well. We split rent. We do everything pretty much like normal people. Now this is where I feel like TA. She's been talking about this guy she met online a year ago and how she wants him to move in. Now my husband was away for business for a few months when we moved, and he is now home thankfully. We're trying to get used to having him in the house, and it's going great. And originally we thought he was going to be restationed in Georgia, so I was okay with this guy moving in because we would only be there for a month or so. Things are different now, and we are staying where we are. We are expecting our first kid. I have a stable job at a daycare which I love. Me and my Emile haven't talked about. I'll call him Bob. Bob moving in for a long time now. I have met this man, but the last 5 months, she has been crying for the way Bob has been treating her. I don't feel comfortable, and I've told her this, and she is disregarding what I am saying. I am autistic, so this is challenging for me, and I do not like confrontation. But we are a growing family and need the space. She told us to put the baby in the large closet, and we can make it into a nursery, and that we don't need much space for a newborn. She's not respecting me. I feel trapped. She's quite rude to me most of the time, and talks down to me a lot. Now all I want to do is cuss her out and tell her to move out. I feel disrespected and disregarded. She won't listen to me about Bob, and even my husband doesn't want Bob to move in. I feel like I would be an asshole if I told her to move out. Well, OP, you're not wrong for feeling trapped and disrespected in your own home, especially while you're pregnant and trying to prepare for a baby. Being told to put your newborn in a closet so someone else's boyfriend can move in is not a small suggestion. That's a major boundary violation. Wanting space, privacy, and stability for your growing family isn't selfish. It's basic and reasonable. What makes this harder is that the behavior isn't just about housing. It's about control, being talked down to, ordered to clean on demand, and having your concerns brushed aside creates a dynamic where you're treated more like a child than an adult partner in the household. And the fact that even your husband doesn't want this man moving in should have been the end of the conversation. Wanting her to move out isn't about being cruel. It's about protecting your mental health and your baby's environment. And while her frustration already felt like it came from being ignored and pushed aside in her own home, the update shows just how deep the tension had really become. And now, here's the update from the original poster. Clarification. To everyone who is confused when I say she is nice 80% of the time, and then contradict myself, I apologize for misspeaking. I have had a hard time wrapping my thoughts together properly since I have been pregnant. What I mean by she is nice to me 80% of the time is that she does take care of me, kind of. If I am craving something, she will come home and surprise me with it, and after our fights, she is just abnormally nice. Yes, my percentages are not adding up, but it feels like she's upset or being mean with me, and then being nice to me because she maybe feels bad. I think that's where I am getting my 80% of niceness. Me and her get into a lot of arguments, but they are short, and then she is nice to me for a long period of the day. I am personally not good with putting down my thoughts as of recently. I just forget what I wanted to say and try to keep going. As for the housing situation, we live in an apartment, and it's a 1,200 feet 2-bedroom apartment. I moved in on my own while my husband was gone due to personal reasons with my family. The original plan was for me to move in and my mill helped me move, and when my husband got home to add him to the lease and just be us. But then my mill broke up with her BF of 12 years and was sobbing to me looking for a way out. I talked to my husband about it, and we decided to let her stay there as long as she got on her feet, and actually tried. We had to add her to the lease, from what we were told by our building manager, since she was living there, so we did. My husband is added to the lease now as well. Now my husband has talked to his mom a lot. He is not happy with her at all. One night it got so bad, he kicked her out for the night and told her to go to her friend's house for space. I honestly do not know what happened because my husband told me he didn't want to stress me out further because it's bad for the baby. I dropped it because I genuinely don't like this drama. I swear the baby hates it too because I feel tiny kicks when I am stressed. My husband and I have talked to our apartment manager, and they told us we could remove her from the lease. My husband wants to, and to never talk to his mother again, but I feel really bad for her. Now for the update. My husband talked to his mom and told her if she doesn't move out in the next 2 months on her own terms, he will personally box her stuff up and make her move. I was taking a nap at this time as I should, and was told he said that. I woke up to a lot of fighting about me, calling me problematic and how we should move away since we are stable and can afford it. My husband asked how I was being problematic, and she listed off the following. I sleep and don't do much housework. I don't cook dinner every day, and me ordering food is filling the house up with weird smells. I am not nice to her dog, and won't take him out on walks while she's at work. Her dog genuinely takes all of my stuff, and now the baby stuff, and rips it up and destroys it. Mill refuses to train him because he's perfect just the way he is. He jumps on me and attacks me a lot, and even has bitten me. I am allergic to him as well. I break out in mild hives and get really itchy. She knows this, but tells me if I don't like it to not go near him, which I don't. And then she gets mad that I tell him to get out of my room. BC, I don't want to be full of allergies and whatnot in my own space. I am being moody and crying, making her annoyed. She doesn't like my cat. I have an emotional support cat because since I've been pregnant and my husband being gone, it was really difficult for me to feel so alone, so I was surprised with a cat. She does not like my cat because she does not pay attention to her and stupid stuff like that. May I add, my cat does not bite or hiss or claw or scratch anyone. My cat talks a lot, and it's very vocal on her opinions, but that's pretty much it. How messy I am. I'm not messy, I am just not a neat freak who needs/wants a vacuum 2 times a day and clean 2 times a day. How my husband spends more time with me and not her. How I am making excuses on why I can't do anything because I am pregnant. This fight went on for a long time, and my husband snapped and started yelling and told her to leave him alone. I was just in my room crying because I feel like the problem. I was comforted, and I just finished packing for a mini vacation my husband planned last minute. We're not doing anything big. We're just going to a hotel in a different state for a few days to make me relax me. Relax. I'll update y'all if something else happens. Sorry if I contradict myself. This pregnancy is making me forget everything for zero reason. Well, OP, the update really shows that this situation isn't about small annoyances or personality clashes. It's about a power struggle where you're being blamed for things that are completely normal, especially for someone who is pregnant, autistic, and under constant stress. Criticizing you for resting, crying, not catering to her dog, and not putting her needs above your marriage is not concern. It's hostility disguised as help. What stands out most is that your husband is finally drawing a firm line, and that's important. You shouldn't be the one carrying guilt for wanting peace in your own home. You didn't create this conflict by existing, by being pregnant, or by needing support. You didn't push her out. Her refusal to respect boundaries pushed the situation to this point. Feeling bad for her is understandable, but compassion does not mean sacrificing your safety, your comfort, and your child's stability. You deserve a home where you can rest, heal, and feel secure, not one where you're constantly walking on eggshells. And choosing that for yourself and your baby is not being an asshole, it's being a parent. All right, everyone, which story got you fired up the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you for spending your time with me. Your support genuinely means the world. Take care, much love, and I'll see you in the next one.